Hey guys, what I'm here to talk about is how to tell when you need a break. First of all, pro tip, if you're thinking to yourself, I'm quitting, I need a new career, you probably need a break. I think that when you are writing copy full-time, when you're writing copy part-time, when you're taking freelance clients, it is really, really hard to say no to projects. You know, when a company wants to work with you and you kind of look at all this stuff coming in, you're like, yes, I'll take this work, I'll take it. And then you can very quickly notice that it is overwhelming. And you get it done because you have to hit your deadlines and you want to make your clients happy, but it can be very tempting to keep taking that work and keep like adding on and making yourself crazy. So how do you know when you need a break? When you start to find yourself getting exhausted, when you start to find yourself dreading projects. Now, don't get me wrong. There are definitely times when all of us dread projects, you know, when we're like, oh, I'm not really feeling like doing this today. I'd really rather watch Netflix or whatever. Like, I love copywriting. It's a fantastic career and I will do it forever. But at the same time, like, there are days that I don't feel like writing copy, or some afternoons when I don't feel like writing copy. So if you feel it one day, probably you can work through it. But if you're starting to feel that a couple of days in a row or something like that, or you're feeling run down, maybe you're snapping at the people around you, maybe you're not sleeping well, things like that. When you start to notice that you just don't feel great anymore, that can be a great indication that you need some time off. And believe me, I will be the first person to say work hard and get stuff done, and I absolutely am pretty much working from like 5 a.m. well into the evening hours. Do I recommend that? Heck no. So this is definitely one opportunity where I need to take my own advice, but we need to take care of ourselves in order to be the best possible service providers on one side, on the career side. But even if you're bringing a ton of money, if you're lousy to spend time with, then what's the point? You know, if you are making a ton of money, but you're snapping at your spouse or you have lost patience with your kids, then what's the point anyway? And you know, the nice thing too is that we're making this income and we're making more than we've made before, which means that you can probably afford to take a little bit of time off or carve some time into your schedule. We're heading into summer, and you know, if you're able, take some summer Fridays or take half days in summer. You know, the added income and the flexibility should mean that we can look out not today, but look out the window and say, God, it's gorgeous out. You know what? I'm going to carve out a little bit of time for myself. If you can carve out hours within the day, great. If you can carve out a whole day to take a break, and remember, taking a break often, I will recommend, does not necessarily involve sitting on your sofa and watching TV, even though I'm a big fan of that. But being a passive receptor to like television is not a great way to let your brain rest. Like, going out, go to the park for an afternoon, go sit and read a book somewhere, go for a walk, something like that. But giving your brain the opportunity to rest can be it can be really beneficial to you as a professional. And if you start, you know, it can be so easy to get ourselves to the point of burnout. Believe me. The more you can head it off at the pass, the better. You may find that you need to take some more drastic steps. I personally, and I get that I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I do have more flexibility. I 100% get that. But I also run a business and I freelance and you know, and have other obligations. So my life is not perfect, it's not full. I will try to take a weekend away by myself in pretty much silence, or at least a Friday night, or if I can do Friday and Saturday night, And I try to do that when I know that I'm burned out, because I can feel that it's getting in the way of me being effective. It's getting in the way of me being an effective copywriter. It's getting in the way of me being an effective coach. You have to take breaks. And sometimes if you're not good at taking breaks, you have to build them into your schedule. Meaning, I had a coach who at the beginning of the year would say, okay, pick the times that you're going to take in January. They'd say, okay, pick the times that you're going to take your vacations, and pick that time now. So it's on your calendar, so that when May comes around, you can't be like, oh no, I'm just going to skip that, because it's on your calendar. So you didn't book doctor's appointments, or you didn't book client calls, you didn't do anything like that. And so you may find that's beneficial as well. You know, put some time on a Friday afternoon for you to read a book, or go for a walk, or veg out, or something like that. Now we can eat outdoors, go have lunch with a friend outdoors, or something like that. But you have to, your business's greatest asset is you. So you cannot burn through your business's greatest asset, because if you aren't there to do the work, if you are too burned out to get out of bed, if you're too burned out to think creatively, if you're too burned out to get on a client call, then you have no business. You, as the CEO of your business, need to protect your business's greatest asset, which, I get it, it's a lot of hats, is also you. You have to take care of yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. There's going to be, you may be blessed with friends or family or a spouse that says, hey, babe, you need to take care of yourself. Why don't you take some time off? But it's also up to you to make the decision to do it. But no one else is going to take care of your business's greatest asset, time for lunch, other than you. So you need to make your business's greatest asset, you, a priority. And when you get to the point that you start to get snippy at people, you start to get daunted by things that you wouldn't normally be daunted by, you start to regularly dread doing work, you're noticing you're waking up in the middle of the night, anything that is outside of your normal, you get frustrated, and I'm quitting and I'm getting a new career. You need to prioritize yourself and take some time off, whether it's hours in an afternoon, whether you can even get a full day off. You need to prioritize yourself and take that break, because otherwise you're going to burn yourself out, and then no business. Then you will have to quit and get a new career, but you'll do it likely you'll do it in the next career too. So take care of yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you.